Hello and welcome. This is Ayana Leahy, and I am so very happy that you're here with me today in this week's podcast of Be One, Be You. We are diving into the theme, how God really works. What a topic, right? This podcast is beyond a religious dogma, does not have anything to do with any particular religion, and it is connected to the inside story, the inside workings of how God energy works. And obviously in one podcast, I can't get into the full big story here and the little details, but I'd like to give you an overview. Each religion that was created on this planet came at a particular cultural time period where the masses were dealing with particular issues that were difficult. And so a particular framework of connecting into the source of life, into the depth of the evolutionary place within inside of oneself that had to be ignited and tapped into was given to the masses. Each time that a religion was created, it was created by the same being who would come time and time again. And he is the original avatar soul, the first avatar, the original spark of God that would come again and again. And each time that God manifests in human form, it's for a particular purpose. And it usually happens between 700 and 1400 years. So that's a little backstory to help give you the overriding picture. And for those of you who have had that feeling like, wow, there really is one infinite source in the universe. And whatever you call God, there are at least 108 names of God. And all of God's attributes and qualities are known in different cultures, written in the most exquisite way in dozens of original languages and root languages on the planet. God is the impulse, the source. And then there are many planes between God itself and human being consciousness. As a human being, we have the opportunity and the potential to evolve into becoming our source self, our original spark of God that is within inside of you. It's inside of everyone. It does not discriminate between the language you speak, the color of your skin, your gender, what country you come from. God is in all of us. And that might be a mind bender for some people. But please know that there would not be as much strife and violence and hatred in the world if everyone got it. And yes, every culture has its different ways of relating to the source. If you can imagine, every person on the planet has their own mindset. And so the different religions around the planet have helped to heighten, uplift, and evolve the mindset of millions of people, and it's perfect and beautiful. When we get too attached and connected, thinking that our identity is the religion that we are, we lose a notch of connection, because the identity only happens through the part of your mind that needs to think its way is right. It's perfect that it's right for you, but it is not the way for everyone. How God works. Let's dive in. God works like a magnet. It's pulling you towards it. And life circumstances in this plane of duality that the earth plane is, of contrasts, polarities, opposites, dark and light, good and evil, love and hatred, etc., male and female. We are pushed through our life circumstances to connect with the infinite light, the infinite source of that light, which is God. And please know that I'm working with the vibration and the sound of God because it resonates for me. And I honor all the names of God and personally chant them, speak them myself every day. God works to help you let go of your perceptions and conceptions of what reality is. God loves you for who you are. God does not judge you. One of the most amazing things about God is how you are given unlimited opportunities and chances to change. When you really think about it, it's phenomenal. You're never stuck in a particular behavior or way of living. The ways of living and the behaviors that you choose are really all about feeling safe, experiencing a comfort zone inside of yourself so that you can survive. We have to stay on top of things. We have to think things through. We have responsibilities. We have commitments. We have losses that pull us. We experience grief that takes us into questioning. Over and through history, we are given the moments of experiences that test us to stay connected to the infinite source of life or leave it. You have probably known people who, in their anger, in their feelings of ranging from disgust to resentment, will turn away from that infinite source and close the door. And the world wouldn't be where it is if there was a God. So that's a belief too, because how do we know what's really needed to awaken the planet, the collective consciousness? So circling back to judgment, that's made up. That's in your own ego. So the dividing line between the human mind and God is that the human mind, when it's beautifully balanced in God, lives in a state of discernment, love, power, knowledge, bliss. It can see through illusion. When the mind is split, meaning, I'll call it the ego self, You're probably all familiar with the word ego, and it means something different to each and every one of us. The ego, I'd like to define it so that we're on the same page here. How I'm referring to ego is the part of your mind that came into existence because you, as a child, or even as an infant, and yes, as a older child and teen, but usually comes into existence as a child because you couldn't fulfill what was being asked of you. It felt too much. It looked like too much. Emotionally, it could have been overwhelming. Psychologically, it could have been too demanding. And physically, maybe you just felt like you couldn't show up in that way. We come into each lifetime with our sanskaric patterns, the impressions, the imprints that we bring with us lifetime after lifetime. So each child, each and every one of you came in with a different capacity of dealing and working with life and its challenges and its joys and its traumas. Each family system has a different gifting of life energies, of material and spiritual gifting, and also of demands, expectations, and projections. So it's really important to know how your system that you came from affects you now in how you are in relationship and in connection with the infinite source, God. That vibrancy and love that sparks all of the cells in your body and is felt in your physical body as energy, as higher intelligence, divine intelligence. It keeps your mind questioning and wondering until you ask that big question of, who am I? So throughout time, we're given the opportunity to choose to stay connected into infinite source, even in the roughest times. It's so easy to completely shut the door. Through working with thousands of individuals, what I've learned is a lot. It could be 10 podcasts. I'd like to share with you one of the most important qualities and mindsets that I've seen and experienced in all the people that I work with and have worked with and love dearly. And this includes you. How you judge yourself is the biggest difficulty and challenge of your life. Now, if you really, really feel into it, that for a moment, take on just the thought that God is not judging you. God is really loving you, and God can be really stern and wanting you to step up. But that's not judgment. That's actually pulling you out of where you are so that you can step through your own self-made barriers, your own self-made opinions about yourself. You have to be willing to accept your greatest faults and be willing to see yourself through a telescope and see where you leave yourself, how you make up your own story about who you are, what you're supposed to be, what you can't be, and the behaviors that you choose in order to fulfill your own prophetic story. I did not say pathetic, but prophetic. Your own blueprint of your real self is already within you. That blueprint is part of the matrix of God. Call it the God grid. It's the imprint, the pathway that is yours, and no one has the same one as you. So God is working to help you individuate so that you can feel its presence with you and know God personally and have a direct connection. You don't need to have anybody in between you and God. God will speak to you if you just sit and face God. So you can close your eyes each day and do the following. You close your eyes right now. Take a long, deep breath in through your nose and out your mouth. And I'd like you to envision on a really feeling level, turning to the right in a circle, not physically, in your mind's eye. Begin to turn to the right. Keep going until you see a blaze of light. And I'd like to invite you to take in that blaze. Be aware of how far you need to turn to face that blaze. And when you find that blaze, that ignition, that constant, steady blaze of light, connect to it and go to that place every day in this same practice. It is a Be Light meditation practice. Be Light meditation is the meditation practices that make up Spirit Gateway's 21st Century Liberation Roadmap that has all of the original teachings in it. All of the original teachings, they're not belief systems, they are practices to have direct connection with Infinite Source. That's what Spirit Gateways is all about. It's what I'm all about. And I know that in each and every one of you, there is that desire to have that simple connection. It can be that simple. To practice it and direct your life, navigate your life, making use of the compass towards God, that comes from your own desire, from your own heart to create that connection. And it doesn't mean you have to go live in a cave or meditate for 12 hours a day. But it does mean that you want to, at least 3 times a day, connect your mind focus with your heart and turn to face the light. And keep turning till you see that light. Bring that light into your heart and fill your heart so deeply, so much so with that light, that it's going to begin to shift how you speak, where you're coming from when you talk, the music you like to listen to, the food that you like to eat, and how you approach your own life. When you really sit in the light in your heart, you realize what a miracle your life is. You realize what an outrageous experience it is to really be alive, and what a real gift it really is. And I'd like to invite you to live your life, treat your body, speak from the miracle of being alive and having the opportunity to go for what you really love, to love how you want to be loved, to treat yourself and others with respect and honor and kindness. And this is how God works. And to know that both men and women are seen as equal lights of power, of love. One sex is not seen as better than the other, because we're both masculine and feminine, the 2 aspects of God that must reunite within ourselves to realize the soul that we are, to really be one in soul, holding you in deep, deep love. And I would love to share with you the first volume, One in Soul, of my 4-volume book series, Be the Humanity Blueprint. You can find One in Soul on Amazon, and there's a lot packed in the book to support you on your journey to really make some radical shifts in yourself, in your own alignment to your true source within you. Thank you so much for joining with me and holding you, walking at your side, and invite you to check out at ayanalahi.com, IANALAHI.com, the free offerings to step into the warm waters of Spirit Gateways to support you in your awakening journey as the amazing man or woman that you are. Until next time, sending you much love. Have a truly wonderful week. This is Ayana Lahi.